Hey, what's up? So today I thought it'd be fun to talk about coincidences. There's something about coincidences that it feels like is like a communal experience, but not in how it happens. But we all experience coincidences. It's just kind of unspoken thing where it happens, but past like the few seconds after that, we don't really bring it up or talk about it. And obviously, faith or not, it puts a sprinkles in the mind of there being something more than just life, feeling like there's something. It's tough for something like a 1 in a billion to happen, and to happen at least like a few times throughout a certain amount of time, whatever, thousands of times throughout your life. Like if you think about every single coincidence that happens, it's like 1 in a billion, like, and you think it happens like thousands of times in our life, like it's kind of insane. And I feel like we kind of get lost in the sauce of life, and maybe stress and anxiety and all that stuff plays into it, but we forget that stuff. And so what happens is we kind of spiral and go through this stuff, and then eventually it all turns out fine, but we forget like the little details of stuff where it seems like life has given us like a little wink or something like that hey, everything will be all right. You just keep going, doing your thing. At least that's for me. I was watching this podcast a few days ago, and there was this person mentioned, this like very, like a random person, and it turns out I was listening to that song. Like that song was on my Spotify when I clicked off it, and I was like, you know what, I want to listen to Spotify in the middle of the podcast right as they were talking about the thing. I only have one song from this guy. It's from one playlist that I don't usually listen to, and it's like, okay, what are the chances of that? Like stuff like that is like coincidence. I believe that there's God and stuff like that, so there's like something more to it, and I feel like if we kind of channel that energy that we have towards those moments of like oh dang, kept that energy going through like the tough times, through the times where it may seem like there's no whatever, stuff like that, then it would be a lot easier for our mental. Because theoretically, if we have these coincidences, if they happen to us, like there must be something going on. There must be some plan. So then if we believe that there is, then that's where the nerves and anxiety kind of don't really hold as much power. Because if you believe that there's at least some sort of reason, at least some sort of purpose for you doing this, at least some sort of whatever, and it's tough to anxiety and nerves. Because usually anxiety and nerves comes down to like not thinking that there's a meaning, or thinking that things are going wrong, or thinking that this, or it's all just projections thinking what could go wrong. But if we kind of lock in and think about all the little details of all the little things that got us here, like even all the stuff before us being alive, like the process of us being the only whatever that is like born, and then like going through the process of like growing up and doing all this stuff, and oh, you didn't get hit by that car, or oh, this didn't happen, or oh, like what happened is you kind of go through something like that, or you experience a coincidence, or you go through the stuff that shows that there's at least something going on here. But then we forget about that and think about the next thing and stuff like that, and get lost in it, and then it happens again, and we're like, oh, and then we go into the next thing and get lost. And it feels like there's this thing that we just all do where we experience these like kind of supernatural or whatever events, or do this or do that and stuff like that, and we're like, oh, that's great, or oh, this or whatever, then we forget it, and then we go back into the cycle of the nerves, anxiety, all that stuff, letting it like dictate our life, and we feel miserable when things aren't going our way. But when things are going our way, then it's all good, but then it goes right back to it, and we revert back to this thing where we're unhappy and all this stuff, versus just having this mindset of even when it's tough or even when it's not fun, just thinking about the fact that, you know what, I know that there's something to this, so hey, just gotta keep going. There's a reason to this. I'm just gonna keep pushing, and then look on the bright side. If we just had that motor and that drive and that desire to just, hey, you know what, even when it's tough, I think that there's a reason we're here. Like I don't think I was that one sperm that got passed here for no reason. Like that there's something here. So even if it's a little tough, even if I don't know if I'm gonna do well, even if I don't know if these people are gonna like me, even if I don't know if this job is gonna keep me, or I don't know if this family or this friend, like billions of things, even if that happens, I'll be all right. Like we'll be fine. And it all ties back to coincidences, because it just gives you like a little glimpse of the fact that, okay, it's gonna be all right. No matter what's kind of catching your mind in the moment, it's gonna be all right. So for me, it helped to think about those moments or think about those things, and because it really puts it in perspective that, okay, I'm getting lost in something dumb. I'm thinking about this dumb thing, or doing this, or letting this affect me. Why am I doing that? Like we're living this life, might as well live it up. Might as well see what's out there and see what's possible for ourselves, and not let these little things hung us up and keep us from keeping on and going along on that little journey. It's tough sometimes, easy others, but if you just maintain that consistent mindset, or at least try to, it helps a lot with going through those tough times, because we all go through them. But if you think about all the little things that got you to this point, and all the little bits and bobs, you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened, or what are the chances, or all this stuff, you're like, okay, you know what, there's more to this than I thought, and I'm just gonna keep pushing and keep doing my thing, and hey, things will get better. Hopefully this helped any of you guys. You can check out any of these videos, and have a nice day.